excited about this Zoom. Allie spoke, what was it, last week on the Diamond Above call. And I was like, oh my gosh, I just know I need her to speak for our team and for everyone because she has so much amazing goodness to share when it comes to the money side of this business. I related to so much, and I think this is going to be great for everybody who is brand new. It's going to be learning, as you go, how to make money. And those of you guys who already have some of the money made in the business, how to manage it better. It's great to make $1 million, but it's more important to have $1 million to be able to save it and to be able to actually, do something with it instead of hit the millionaire club and be like, dang, what happened to that money? And so, Allie, if you want to unmute yourself, introduce yourself, and then just take it away. I will pop in and out if I have any questions along the way, but I just want to hear all the goodness from you tonight.
Okay, there it is. Hey guys. Oh my gosh, I'm super, super, super excited. I love seeing all your faces. I would love if you are, like not in a compromising position, not in the bathtub, anything like that. I would love it if you want to turn your camera on. It's never fun talking to a lot of black boxes and still pictures. I would love to see your faces, give a chance to connect with you guys more deeply. So Mariah, thank you so much for having me. Absolutely, like tee me up, give me questions. I know she was like, just take it away. And I'm like, oh, that's a lot. So, so for those of you guys who don't know, my name is Antonacci. I am an ambassador. I've been in the business this summer. It'll be 8 years. Before it works, I was a nonprofit fundraiser. My daughter was 2 when I started this business. My husband was in sales, a commission only job. It was a good job, but it wasn't enough. And so we were like living the American dream, right? We had the house, the 2 cars, the mortgage, the daycare, all the things. But at the end of the day, that American dream is a little rough sometimes when your daycare costs as much as your mortgage. And it just gets, things were tight. I worked in nonprofit. It was my dream job. I always wanted to be in some sort of community relations, fundraising job, helping people. That was in my heart. I wanted to help others do something that made a difference. I didn't want to just be in corporate America. And so I was like, I'd sort of peaked at like 30. I thought I was like the best job I was going to get. And that money I was making was exactly enough every month to pay our daycare and both car payments. And that was it. Like to the penny, exactly it. So we needed more, and my husband's job, good months were great, but bad months, things went on credit cards. So I had seen someone posting on Facebook, drop a 1 in the chat if you joined this business because you saw something on social media. I want to know how many of you are just like me. Like you saw somebody on social media. And I don't know if you guys were like me. And I wasn't like a skeptic. I would be more of called a hater. I was like, what is this person doing? Did she get scammed? She's photoshopping these pictures. There's no way this is real. I really was like, this is just impossible. This can't be. I knew her because she married a guy I knew in college. So I wasn't like close friends with her, but I knew her. I'd hung out with her enough. And she would message me about doing a party. She would message me about trying products. She would message me about joining her team. And I would be like, oh yeah, sure, girl, send me the info. And then radio silence, right? Who else has done radio silence? So the person who signed them up. It took 9 months of doing that until one day, you guys, she had been posting about a $10,000 bonus, that was what was on the table at the time. It was the very first of the good bonuses, get out of debt bonuses. I joined in the era of debt free is the new sexy, was the 2013 tagline. And that was the year I joined. So it was get out of debt bonus. And she one day just on a piece of paper with a Sharpie wrote 2013 goals. And it said like, go double diamond, pay off a car. And it said family trip to Atlantis in the Bahamas. And I knew that Atlantis was like an amazing place, but she had a family of 5 at that time. And that's like a legit trip. Like that was like a $10,000 trip. And that was what it took for me to finally message her and say, I don't really understand what you're doing or how it works, but I think I need to do it with you. And she was like, okay, girl. So y'all, I watched her without liking or commenting on anything for 9 months. I ghosted her messages, all that. But there was finally one thing she said that just clicked. And I was like, yes, I need to do it. So we met, we had lunch. She kind of explained the chart. We had a paper catalog at that time. She showed me this big fold out catalog. And I said, okay, well, people buy this stuff like at Walgreens and Target every day. And she's like, yeah. I said, well, so if I just ask them, they're going to buy it from me instead. They just don't know about it. And she was like, yeah. So, okay, cool. And then I said, if I don't earn that when I don't earn that $10,000 bonus, I'm going to quit and you can't be mad at me. But I have 90 days to do it and I will do whatever you tell me to do for the next 90 days. And that was it. Because our credit card balance was I maxed out our credit card at $10,000 to join this business. I pushed it over the limit to join this business, you guys. So then I started. I was nervous about posting on Facebook. I was nervous about my mom, my father-in-law, my brother, my coworkers. I was like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. I started second guessing myself. My sponsor was like, okay, like, do you need some help? And finally I realized there was like a custom setting on Facebook where I could block certain people from my posts. So I blocked all my family, all my coworkers from my posts, and I started posting. And I had some people messaging me. I had people asking me if I got scammed, if I had been hacked. We had like a big housewarming party at our house and or a birthday party, I think. And all these people were like, what are you doing? Why are there like bellies all over your page? Like, what is this thing you're into? And I was like, oh, it's awesome. It's gonna be great. And we're just making some money. I just want to use the products. Because at first I didn't like have that confidence, right? So 3 weeks into the business, I went to an event. Now I know in the last year we haven't had in-person events. Like it's been over a year, right? So, and I know they've done an incredible job with the virtual events, but I'm telling you guys, the second there's an in-person event, you have to get there and you have to get there immediately and make it your most hugest priority. Because I went to an event. My sponsor said I had to. I said, nope, I don't have a babysitter. I don't have the money. And she said, I'll pay for your ticket. Find a sitter. You told me you do whatever I told you to do for 90 days. Okay. So I went to the event and I was not wearing black and green. I sat there with my arms crossed. I said, this is stupid. All these people work together. Why are they all wearing these same clothes? Like, they don't need to identify themselves. I was so confused by the culture, right? Because I didn't get it. I didn't know it yet. So I was confused by that culture and I sat there and slowly throughout the day, my arms started to uncross, right? I started to breathe. I started to experience it. You guys, they announced what Black Diamond was at that event. So they used to do like little green carpets like all over the country. Like then they called them It Works You and different things. So that's kind of what it was. It was near St. Louis. So my arms started across. I heard some ambassador speeches. I heard a debt-free panel, and I heard these 3 people just sobbing, pouring their eyes out about how they had gone debt-free. And then there was a panel, and I think Pam Souter led it, and Denise Walsh and Cami Pentecost were like sharing the white chair. They weren't even on the couch. They were like squeezed on the little white chair together that they have at events. And I've sat in that white chair. It's very cozy. And Pam said, Cami, how did you know that this business was where you were supposed to be? And she said, because I never, ever wanted someone else to tell me when I could or could not see my family again. Because that's what a job does, right? And so for me, that was it. I started bawling. My daughter was 2 and I dropped her at daycare every morning at 6:45 and I did not pick her up till anywhere between like 4:30 and 5 most days. She was exhausted. I'd have maybe an hour and a half, 2 hours tops with her and she went to bed. I sobbed. I looked at my sponsor and I said, I will be on that stage next year. And she was like, okay. And I was like, no, watch me. I will be on that stage. I don't know if any of you guys know Chantel Lyons. I met her that day. It turned out I was about to be a Ruby that finished out her ambassador chart. She went ambassador about a week later. And I went Ruby that first month. Um, I actually remember emailing her and being like, so how do people get on stage at these things? Like, I was so like, it was such ignorance on fire. I did not, all I knew was that money chart went executive to ambassador, and I was here and I was going to go here. To me, it was a ladder. I had zero preconceived notions. I had zero experience. My only network marketing experience I had ever known was my parents joining a company, which is actually the company Mark was the top earner in, which is hilarious. My parents did nothing with it. And then they said this kind of stuff's stupid, right? So even when I had told my mom a few days before I signed up that I was going to be doing this, she was like, I just don't know why you would waste your money on that. Something like that's so stupid. Nobody ever does anything with that. Nobody ever succeeds in that. And over the years, we've had to say, well, Mom, maybe you just didn't try. Yeah, that's been a fun one to say. But you guys, it was just pure ignorance on fire. I was so excited. I was so confident that I said, oh, I'm Ruby. Okay. So I'll just go Emerald. Then I'll go Diamond. I'll get that $10,000 bonus. Then I'll go double. Like, I was like, oh, Chantel went ambassador in 15 months. I wonder if I could do it in a year. Like, there was no limiting beliefs. There was nothing in my soul that told me I couldn't do it. And like, what if we all went back to that person we were that first day? We were like, oh my God, I'm going to do this. I'm going to change my life. I'm unstoppable. Who felt that way? Like, show me your hand or put a 1 in the chat. I can see all of you. Like, who felt that way the day you signed up? Like, oh my God, this is going to change my life. This is everything. And you like have that feeling in your stomach and that nervous energy when you click submit, and who had to scrape together the $99, right? Courtney said she maxed out her credit card too. Like, yes, we were all there. And that was just me. Everyone I talked to, the number one thing I did, guys, I never asked a single person to become a loyal customer. Every single person I ever talked to, I said, you need to join me. You need to do this with me. This is the most incredible thing. And from day one, every single dime that I made, you guys, every single dime that we made in this business that would hit my checking account, and I would transfer to the penny that exact amount to that credit card. So it's been a dime of it. I went diamond. I got that $10,000 bonus. I went diamond in 88 days. I mean, I know there's people who have done it in like a minute, but at that time, that was like really great. Like, I did it in 90 days and that was awesome. 2 months later, I went double, and it was right before I hit double that I sat down with my husband. First, also, my husband was not supportive. He told me this business was dumb. His exact quote was, well, I don't think I should cuss, but I'll say his exact quote was ish. There's no way these voodoo witch wraps will pay off our debt. The only way this business will work is if one of us, or like the only way we'll ever do that is if one of us goes gets another job. Like, you're spending so much time on the computer, you're constantly on your phone. He hated it. And I said, babe, would I ever do anything to hurt us? We'd been married 6 years at the time. Would I ever do anything to harm us? And he was like, no. And I said, well, I know that you don't love this, but I need you to love me through it. Because I really, 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 in my heart of hearts, know that this can be the ticket to live that life we want. And he was like, okay, and he still didn't like it. You guys, he didn't try a single product until I went triple. And he tried a wrap because I had paid for in cash a vacation for us to go to Jamaica. And he was like, oh, I have a beer gut. I should do something about that. So he was not a fan, but right before I went double, I said, I'm going to make more money from It Works than I make at my full-time job this month. And he was like, okay, so awesome. Great. And I was like, and our credit card's about to be paid off. So, and he was like, okay. And I'm like, so I want to quit my job. And he was like, you're out of your mind. What are you thinking? And I was like, well, here's what I'm thinking. He made the majority of his money during 3 months of the year. I was like, he sold booze, so holiday season. So like he was in that. And I was like, we're going to have some really big months of your income these next couple months. I said, if I can put Addie in daycare still like 3 days a week, but have her home more. I said, I can work this business all in. I said, but it's about to be busy season in my real job, and it's about to be busy season and it works. And I can only do one thing well. I can only give 100% to one thing, right? Same reason we tell people don't work two businesses. Like you can only be 100% in one thing. And I said, I can't move up in this. And it's going to be so busy that I can't do much at works. I said, but this, I could really change our life. I really believe I can do this, babe. I can go triple. I can go presidential. I can go to the top of this. And it's still, you guys, it was that blind faith. Y'all, I had people quit. I had customers hate their products. I don't know what it was in me that I just knew that I was meant to be an ambassador in this company. And so he was like, okay, well, if in 3-4 months into the year, you're not where you want, you can go back to work. And I said, absolutely. And I called my dad, who always managed big clinics and hospitals and things. That was his job growing up. And I said, Dad, I think I'm going to do this. And he was like, you really think you can do it? You really think you can make money? I said, yeah. And he's like, then do it. Who cares? Just go for it. He's like, go all in, which I couldn't believe my father said that. And he was like, don't tell your mom I said this. But he did. He pushed me to do it. And y'all, I put in my resignation at that dream job. They were so mad. December 13th, 2013 was my last day in corporate America. In January, when that paycheck hit, I paid that credit card balance off to 0. And I was like, here we go, baby. Let's go. Right. And then, because I know we're going to get into money mindset stuff too. I went triple in March. I went to my first conference at January. I went triple in March. I went presidential in June. At conference, they had announced Dash, which at that time was like the top leader retreat. And it had always been just by rank, like all the leaders of certain ranks got to go. And then they said it was going to be the top 100 earners for April, May, and June. And I was like, I was a new double. I was like, oh, you got to be kidding me. I mean, I didn't know what a top earner was, but I knew it wasn't me. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Oh, man, I really thought it'd be triples and up or whatever. And I was so bummed. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to keep working. I just thought there was like no way I'd ever get to Dash. And then at the beginning of June, I got a message. I was getting ready to go presidential. I was actually in Florida, and I got a message that from Pam Souter and said, can I give you a phone call? And I was like, what? And she told me that I was for the first, for April and May, I was number 89 in the entire company. And I was in the running for Dash. And I was like, I'm sorry, what? Like, I remember where I was. I remember, which is so funny because I was in Florida. And now that I know her, like, I was like 2 miles down the street from her house. So strange. Like, what a weird coincidental world. But I remember that phone call. I remember so clearly. I remember all of it. I immediately saved her number because I was like, oh, I have her number. And then the next month in July, I did go presidential in June. So 3 days before my 1-year anniversary. In July, I went to green carpet. It was down in Florida. It was my 1-year anniversary of that event I had, right? And you guys, I walked stage as the number 56 earner in the entire company. I had said, mark my words, I will be on that stage. And 1 year to the day, I was. I claimed it, you guys. I claimed it into the universe. And that's just it. You have to claim things into the universe that you don't have any idea how or why you're doing it or how you'd get there. You guys, when I first moved to St. Louis, my husband now, we lived in this like crappy apartment right out of college. And we always came down this one street to go to his parents' house. And it's actually the street I live right off of now. And there was this house that like looked like a big old white barn, and it was for sale that year. And I was like, I love that house. He's like, that house is so dumb. And I was like, I love this area and I'm going to buy that, or I'm going to live here one day. And he was like, babe, you're out of your mind. But I just always was like, gosh, I just love this like intersection of the city. I love it. You guys, if I'm sitting in my office and look out the window, I can see that white house. I claimed it in the universe and I didn't even know. I didn't even know. I had no idea, but I knew it would happen. I simply knew. And that's how your goals have to be. It has to be Like, even if it's something you want and sometimes you can't even keep them front of mind because they're too overwhelming, right? They're too big. But it has to be like that Emerald City. And you just got to like follow, take the steps, go forward, continue progress down that yellow brick road because eventually you're going to get there. But whatever that thing is you want, you have to believe you can get. So in the midst of that, we were making crazy money. Okay. Right after I went double, I signed, which is crazy now, the 3 longest standing distributors in my organization and the 3 top ranking distributors in my organization. I signed them all in 1 month. They did not all take off miraculously, but 2 of them went pretty fast. One of them went insanely fast. I'm sure a lot of you know who Amy Spence is. Bananas. She went ambassador in 13 months. So I signed Lauren Casamatis. I signed a girl named Jenny Thomier, who's a presidential and incredible, absolutely the most amazing leader. And then I signed Amy Spence all in a month, right? I didn't know what cabs were. I didn't know how the compensation plan went. I didn't know why my second month as double, my volume went up, but my paycheck went down. I didn't know the comp plan. And that is the number one thing I can tell you. Yes, love them all. If you want good leaders to follow, great examples. They're good as they get, heart of gold. They're amazing. You just never know, y'all. Lauren was probably like I think she was like my 35th distributor in the business. 35th. What if at 34, I was like, screw this. I am done going back to corporate America. I can't. I haven't found my one. Yeah, I had some joggers. I had some people working, whatever. I had one girl, my very first DTI side kind of was doing some things. Like I had helped her quite a bit, but she was doing things. It was just so exciting and new when we were doing it. But yeah, you can really get yourself to about double on your own. And honestly, the way our business is right now, y'all, you can post yourself to double diamond. There is no reason you cannot. You can post yourself to double diamond. You can do it all yourself. But as you do that, you have to create leaders because that's the only way you'll be able to ever go to triple and beyond is to have other people on your team doing it. You cannot. There's a Jim Rohn quote that says you can lead a team of thousands. You cannot carry 2 on your back because you can't. You could not carry 2 people on your back, right? For any duration of time. So you can't carry a whole team with you. But I did find those leaders and my checks started going up and up and like exponentially up. But I didn't know why. My volume was going up. I just thought like, oh, that's big volume. And my team's growing and they're doing all the things. I didn't understand that breakdown. And one of the biggest pieces of advice I can have you guys understand is once you're Ruby, really understand the comp plan until you're about Ruby Emerald. And then once you're diamond, I cannot I want to just shake you all and say, do whatever it takes to fully understand where all your money is coming from. This, you guys, I am telling you from double diamond in February to triple diamond in March was an $8,500 raise. Insert income disclosure here. It took a massive amount of hard work and those earnings are not typical. There, I said it. The next month, it was like another 5,000. And the next month, it was another 4,000. And the next month, it was a $10,000 pay raise from there. You guys, I am talking exponential leaps and bounds money, and I didn't know why. I just thought this is what happened when you grow your team really fast. And I was freaking running. And then suddenly I was 56 for this contest. And then I went to that dash. And at that dash, Mark and Mike and Pam, and they're like, oh my gosh, nice to meet you. Or who are you? They're asking, my enroller was there too. And it's like, who are you? What is going on? And there was like a giveaway and the top 20 earners from August got to draw winners and they were like announcing names and stuff. And somebody was like, oh, you get to draw a name tomorrow or whatever. And I was like, what are they talking about? I didn't even know. And I was like kind of putting pieces together. I was so confused. And they had like gotten through the 20 and 15. And I was like, oh, there's got to be wrong. Like, there's no way. And then I got announced 14 months of my business for August of 2014. My 14th paycheck, I was number 7 in the entire company. You guys, like, I still don't have a brain cell for how that happened. I didn't understand. It was insane. And I thought the money was limitless. I thought the money was never gonna end. And then come December, January, suddenly my check like cut in half. It was because it was cabs. And cabs are the bonuses you get as a one-time bonus as your team grows once you're diamond and above. And y'all, cabs can make you the most insane money, but that's why you have to know where your check is coming from. Once you are diamond and above, I cannot encourage you enough to save your cabs. Don't depend on them. Absolutely stash them, pay your debt with them, use them for a house payment. Do not depend on your cabs because your residual will just slowly go up as you build your team. And you guys, I can tell you now, 8 years into my business, last year when things gonna be lots of ups and downs and COVID and everybody knew crazy stuff was gonna happen, my residual has never stayed so steady. I'm so, so grateful for this business because it has taken 8 years of steady work. And it's not the level of beach money I want, but it did feel like beach money. You know, it felt like this is real steady. This feels really good. It felt like my team was in a good spot. But those cabs, you guys, they can go like this. And the way you get every single cab in your business always is you make sure that no one ever misses a fast start. Okay, so that's like a huge lesson. No one should ever miss a fast start, and everybody in your home and everyone should always run an auto ship. Those two things, because when everybody runs an auto ship, everybody gets their fast starts, right? So when everybody runs their auto ship and everybody focuses on never missing a fast start, your entire team will always make significantly more money. But I didn't know that that's what those cabs were happening. And then, so my checks like dipped in December and January, and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I remember like jumping way back up really fast after like conference. And then like insane jump the month I went ambassador, and like a 30,000 increase in a month, like numbers that I didn't know were possible. And still I didn't know why. And you guys, in the midst of this, we had like gone debt free. And then like, we were saving, we were doing like our 30%, always went to like a tax account or whatever. And then you know what? You guys, we had great credit. It was like, like spend whatever we want. We should probably put it on a Southwest card to earn all those miles because we can just pay it off every month, right? Because we're going to be traveling more. My parents moved to Florida in the midst of this. This is going to be great. We're going to get the Southwest card. And we did. We just paid it off in full every month. Our credit was like tremendous, right? And so you do that. And then your checks are like booming and it's great. You just like do stuff. And then that fall, I wanted a new car. I'd never had a new car. I wanted a new car. And I was, we were talking about having a second baby and this is going great. I'm going to get a car that fits 2 kids and I'm going to design it. And I got this like beautiful Acura MDX with like every bell and whistle, whatever. And it was like, we had the money in the tax account to save it, to pay it, but we needed that for taxes, right? So we have great credit. So let's take out a car payment. Why not? Who cares? Just a car payment. We got the money for it. So then, I go ambassador and making just insane money. Amy Spencer went ambassador the exact same day as me. It was crazy. I went ambassador 20 weeks pregnant with our second son. My husband had since then retired from his job. And then I really hated my business for a hot minute. I was exhausted. After going ambassador, being pregnant, I was burnt out. I was not recruiting people to bring this business into their life. You guys, I was recruiting people to fill the boxes. I was not doing it for the right reasons. I was hell-bent I was going ambassador because there was a bananas bonus out there. And I did it because nobody was telling me that I couldn't. But through all of that, you guys, I really wasn't doing any self-development at all. I didn't see the value in it. I'm insanely red. And when I get a goal in mind, I decide that I'm doing it and nothing gets in my way. And it felt like it was a waste of time. Well, I quickly learned that I had just poured from my cup for so long that I had nothing left. And I was so done. And that summer, I was like, I didn't sign a single person. I like had the best summer ever with my daughter, and I had my son in August. And then after I had my son, I was like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna get my act together. I like got my 2.0 moving and go into like emerald. And I think by that spring it went diamond. I did take my 2.0 diamond and things were good, right? Things were going good again. But as we always say, you're not paid immediately in this business, right? You're not paid for um the work you do today. I'm being paid right now for the work I was doing 6 months ago. And 6 months from now, I'm going to get paid for the work I did today. So what do you all think happened after I like quit for a summer? I mean, my team still saw me. I still did the things. I still posted. I was not recruiting. I wasn't doing anything. Well, my check fell. And you know when my check fell? About 4 days after we bought our second home. And I had to fully furnish it. And that credit card balance that I had fully furnished that home on was too big to pay off. So my check fell. Because my cabs cut. I mean, my check fell in half. I mean, and it went from 40s to 20s. I mean, and to buy that second home, we had saved a ton of money. We had our huge tax account, right? Well, to buy that second home, because of the size of the property, it's like a recreational like acreage and stuff. So it's 100 acres with a house. And it's amazing. It's a dream we always had, but we had to put 30% down on it. Well, I had it sitting there, right? So I'll just make more. I'll just save more. So we took a massive chunk of that money to put the down payment on the property. We furnished the house. The check cuts in half. Suddenly we have a credit card balance too big. I have a giant car payment. Oh, and then you know what else we found out during that time? We were pregnant with our surprise third baby. And that dream car I'd spent a fortune on, I had to go trade in for a minivan because I was about to have two under 18 months, and they both had to be in rear-facing car seats. So I take a bath on the car. I've cashed out most of our huge tax savings, and now I have a credit card balance. I made $1 million in this business and was like, I feel broke. Where did it all go? Y'all, if I couldn't even, it would be painful to look back and think of all the stuff we bought. And we went on fantastic trips and we had so many date nights. I teach my team now. I'm like, it is non-negotiable. You learn your comp plan and you learn it well. And I teach how much money you can make if you sign 5, who sign 5, who sign 5, and everyone's running auto ships. It's insane amounts of money that you can make in this business, like insane amounts of money. You pay off your debt, you pay off your credit cards, you pay off your cars, you pay off your student loans. Y'all, Dave Ramsey isn't the guru of debt free if he doesn't know what he's talking about. Do you know when I read, or I guess listened to, Told a Money Makeover? When I was driving to the lake house for a girls' weekend, and I had a 4-hour each way car ride in probably 2017. Yeah, probably 2017. When I was so stressed and probably putting gasoline on the credit card because the bills were so big that we were drowning. You guys, and this isn't something like I share lightly. This is something that I was so embarrassed by for so long. And a few months ago, someone said, you just can never share your story till it's your testimony. And it has been on my heart. And a few months ago, I reached out to Cammie and I said, I don't know who needs to hear this, but somebody does. And I'm ready to finally talk about all the ways I screwed it up so they don't do it. Y'all, no one ever got rich on airline miles. Promise you. And y'all, what's crazy is we had been debt free before. We both came out of college in debt. We put all the credit cards in an envelope. We lived just on cash. right? We did the credit card consolidation thing back then. So then you know what happens when you make insane money and your credit score goes up? They're like, oh, do you want like a $35,000 limit on a credit card? Sure. Oh, you have a business? You want the same limit on a business credit card too? Sure. It's ridiculous. Okay. So we had to get real serious. And I guess it was probably 2017. We finally said, okay, and we talked to our financial people and we figured out how can we consolidate this down? How can we make this into some sort of like monthly thing? And what we had to do is like, in essence, to get credit card companies to negotiate with you, you have to stop paying them. I went from an amazing credit card score to a shitty credit score because I had to. But we finally decided, no, we have worked too darn hard in this business to screw it up. And what's amazing is, y'all, I'm almost to $3 million made in this business. We have had new cars, we've had new homes, we've taken amazing trips. We're still paying off debt. Things felt so close and almost done. And then last year, you know what happened? Make sure you have a good CPA when you make a lot of money. We got a notice that we owed 30 grand from 2015. Like out of nowhere. Could have totally freaked out, but we're like, nope, this just goes into our plan. It goes into our plan. And every time I start to stress about money, it used to debilitate me and it used to cause me so much anxiety. And now instead I realize, well, I'm going to just go get 5 host-to-host up because I have the capacity to make as much money as I possibly want. And during that time, y'all, I didn't feel worthy of it. Once I made that crazy money and I was number 7 and I saw a paycheck, I saw a single paycheck more than I ever made in a year. I think a lot of it, I self-sabotaged. I did not feel worthy of making that kind of money. I felt greedy. I felt like, who deserves this? Why do I deserve this? And I do. I think part of that not working that summer after I went ambassador was probably self-sabotage because I didn't know how to handle it. You are worthy of being insanely, abundantly rich, wealthy, overflowing with money. Money is simply attracted to you. And some of you, that probably is like making you squirm and making you feel uncomfortable. Do you guys know that every single morning in my journal in 2020, I wrote, I am so grateful for the massive amounts of abundance pouring into my life in every area. I am abundantly blessed with our health, with love, with wealth, with happiness, with fun. Pam Sauter and Kate Dixon taught me that when you journal, you want to journal about the dream life you want, but as though you're grateful that it's already become. And so I wrote, I am so thankful that we are 100% debt free and living in our fully renovated dream home. I am so grateful that the more I make, the more I can give. I am so grateful that I can abundantly bless others in times of need. And you guys, that may not be in the amounts that I want yet, but like our old nanny, who's one of my very best friends, has a son in the hospital right now. And I saw it on Instagram today and I Venmoed her 20 bucks. And I said, DoorDash yourself some good food so you don't have to eat that crappy hospital food. And stuff like that, to just be able to freely be kind, to freely tithe if that's what you choose to do. I look at my kids go to a private school. We're so fortunate that we're able to do that for them. But it's a really crappy library. And I always think about like, oh, I would love to give like 20 grand to the school to redo the library. Like, how amazing would that be? And like, why can't I? I can't. And so we are laser focused. You guys, every single month when prelims post, I have this huge spreadsheet of every single expense we have. We have the everyday spending bank account. We have the big bank account that all the bills come out of. Everything. I've got the whole debt snowball on a tab. I mean, it is, I have a little green in me, but you guys, think about everything you want in your life, who you want to be. You want to be wealthy and happy and giving and kind. You have to get the scarcity out of your mind because, y'all, God doesn't want you to be poor. God doesn't want you to be sad. God doesn't want you to be anxious and stressed, right? God intended us for an abundant life. So who are you to say that you don't deserve it? He thinks you do. You are so worthy of massive abundance. And if you feel guilty about it, I want you to think back to your childhood. Did you hear money doesn't grow on trees? Did you hear money is the root of all evil? Did you hear no, honey, not today? We can't afford that. Oh, that's great for them, but we don't do that in our house, right? Y'all, that's in your financial blueprint. That's deep, deep, deep in your brain. And a great place to start changing that is a book called Secrets of a Millionaire Mind. And I encourage you to read it and read it like a textbook. Don't listen to it on audio. Get the physical book and get a highlighter or a freaking pencil or whatever you need to do and study it. Read it and then read it again. And then if you have not yet, oh my goodness, read or listen to Pam Souter's Rich Girl, Poor Girl. Holy cow. Everything I have done in my brain to change my money mindset and everything I've learned about abundance, I've learned from that woman. I cannot be more grateful for her as a mentor and a friend. I'm so blessed to have a close relationship with her and to truly be able to call her a friend. She has taught me everything about, well, why not? Why can't you? And what does that abundance look like for you? Is it that you go back to school shopping for your kids and you don't shop off the clearance rack? Is it that you're out to dinner with your girlfriends or happy hour and you pick up the whole tab because you can? Because you want to? Because you can, because you want to. Is it that you surprise your family with a weekend away? And y'all, I am still insanely frugal because I got debt goals, right? There's a budget. But you better believe that I planned in my budget that last week I took my kids on spring break. And yeah, I found an affordable Airbnb and we only did 2 nights at Great Wolf Lodge instead of 4. And I had stuff packed for breakfast, so we weren't eating all through. Absolutely, because that's smart and being financially savvy. But now when I pick up the really cute top at the boutique and it's $70, and sorry, I still just have a hard time spending $70 on a cute top. I don't say I can't afford it because I can, y'all. I say I'm choosing not to purchase this luxury item today. I'm choosing not to because y'all, your money doesn't control you. You control your money. Haley, it's actually your enroller, Ashley, who taught me to say, this is a luxury item. This is a luxury item. I'm choosing not to purchase this today. And honestly, I'm choosing to shop at Aldi and buy my, because I know that I make a lot of money. I know that I work my tail off to make a lot of money. And I want to make a lot more. I don't know that I'll ever be satisfied. My dreams when I first started was to pay off my credit card, and our huge, audacious, crazy, how is it ever going to happen dream was like a country house, farmhouse, hunting land. We have that. Now my dream is, again, be completely debt free. um, Y'all, when I look at our debt snowball and how much I can attribute to debt every single month, as long as my paychecks stay where they are or keep going up, that land we purchased, guys, I just turned 38 last week. I'll have it paid off before I'm 41. That, like, what? Land and a home. This home I'm sitting in right now, we bought it in the midst of crumbling in all of our debt because I had to. It was because I saw the potential, because I can see the white house out the front door. But y'all, this house, I've lived in it for 3 years and there's still pink carpet in my living room and a brass tacky crystal chandelier in my dining room. And I only just stripped the last of the wallpaper off and did like a budget flip of the hall bath 3 weeks ago when we had a snowstorm and my children were trapped in this house. Because to make this home into my dream home, it's going to cost me like $150,000 to $200,000. And yeah, could we probably figure it out, take out the home equity loan right now and do it? Yeah, I'm not going to. I'm not. I'm going to turn this home into my dream house one day because I deserve it. And it's the most incredible home. It's this huge house on this giant lot in the absolute best part of town by the best schools. It's the most amazing location. But that's exactly it. Exactly what you just told. The discipline is going to bring you to the financial freedom. The discipline to work your business, the discipline to take control of your money and not let your money control you, the discipline to know that you are worthy every single day of whatever you want, but the discipline to know that just because you want it doesn't mean you get it today. For the first 3 to 4 years in this business, if I wanted it, I got it. I could add the money, right? But like, oh my gosh, I'm so thankful for this house. I'm so thankful for our, second home. Like, who am I? Like, I'm 38. My husband just turned 40, and like we have 2 homes. Like, what life is this? But at the end of the day, you have to know you're worthy, and you have to work on that worthiness and that abundant mindset every single day. You might have to work on that harder than you work your business. Denise Walsh told me once, right after she had gone Black Diamond, we were at a conference and we actually walked and went and did a workout together. And I was like, yes, you can come with me and I can get a 40-minute walk with you where I can pick your brain. And I said, what'd you do that year? What was different that year you went Black Diamond? And she said, I said, were you just like talking to PDTs like nonstop? Were you just recruiting? And she said, no. She said, I spent more time working on me than I did my business. She said, because I had to have such a massively abundant mindset and have so much good energy to just pour over into anyone I got near, because that was the only way my team could do it. And she manifested things, y'all. She manifested things like crazy. You have the ability to do that. We started this out by saying, when you put it into the universe hears you. Whatever you believe in, faith, spirituality, religion, power of the universe, what you put out will come back. That is a universal truth. What you put out does come back, right? So when you put out, money flows to me endlessly. Money shows up from surprising sources in large amounts. Y'all, somebody told me to start saying that right when we were really trying to figure out, okay, how are we going to take control of this? And I would just speak. And sometimes I do this at the end of the month too. I'll be sitting in my office and I'll be like, my inbox is overflowing with customers making massive orders, right? And I started saying, large amounts of money show up from surprising sources. You guys, I said it for 3 days. And on the 4th day, $600 in checks that I didn't know were coming showed up in my mailbox. It was like, okay, I hear you. Like, it works. It was, I got chills, like thinking about it. It was crazy. And y'all, I'm telling you, it is the last week of the month. I promise you, you can't say it in your head. You have to say it out loud. Sometimes I even as I write my journal out, that I read it out loud. There's something different that happens in your brain when you write something Don't type it on your phone. Don't you dare journal on your phone. You have to physically write it. It triggers a different, thank you, neuroplasticity. It triggers a different part of your brain. Reading out loud triggers a different part of your subconscious. And if you really, really want to screw with your subconscious, read it out loud to yourself looking in the mirror. Or record yourself reading your affirmations and watch it daily. Say it along with yourself daily. It sounds, hippy dippy, whatever. Okay, great. I can tell you that every ambassador journals every day. Every ambassador says their affirmations every day. Every ambassador pours into their brain every single day with self-development. I shouldn't say every single day. We try to. You know what? I was on vacation last week. I didn't. But I'm back to it today. More than ever. You guys, your subconscious does not know the difference between visualizations and reality. When you speak affirmations, when you can visualize, like I can shut my eyes and visualize because when I say we're remodeling this home, I'm talking the entire first floor is going to change. I can visualize exactly what it's going to look like. I can visualize my office with this beautiful built-ins with my color-coded books, all pretty on the wall. Like I can envision my kids playing hockey in the cul-de-sac. I can envision the car in the driveway. I can envision all of that. And when you do that so deeply, your brain thinks, your subconscious thinks that's reality, and it's going to start rewiring paths to make it happen. Switch on Your Brain by Dr. Carolyn Leaf is an incredible one. If you feel like, oh, my pathways are so deep in the wrong direction, Switch on Your Brain is an incredible book. Also, the 5-second rule by Mel Robbins. The big thing that switched me out of where I was the 5-second rule. I knew I was worthy of it, and I knew that anybody could change it. Anybody could. And yeah, absolutely. There's weeks where I like don't want to get up early and don't want to journal and don't want to this. But y'all, it comes down to mental toughness and discipline. I don't want to journal. Why? Because like I should rather scroll on my phone for 5 minutes. And sometimes the excuses are so dumb. Like Sunday, I was going to go to yoga and the yoga studio was closed for repairs. And I was like, I don't want to go run. I'm just not going to work out. My husband's like, go run. You've been like eating and drinking for a week. You know you're going to feel like crap from vacation. Take your kids on spring break to a water park on your birthday. You just eat and drink all the things. And then, when it came down to it, I was like, why don't I want to run? And I was like, okay, well, running's good for me, blah, blah, blah. It was because when it came down to it, if I ran, I needed to take a shower and I needed to wash my hair. And I hate drying my hair. If you ever see me on a Zoom, it's always like this because I have this massive mop of thick, curly ass hair and I didn't want to wash my hair. Right? So when you don't want to journal, when you don't want to send the host post, stop for a second and be like, okay, dummy, why? It's that little voice. I think Rob Dial calls it your bitch voice. I named mine. A name of someone in my family who isn't always nice to me. So I just tell them to shut up. Call yours Karen or Judy or some name, Esmeralda. Like, y'all, like, tell that voice, be like, okay, Karen, why? Why don't I want to journal today? And it's going to be like, because you'd rather scroll TikTok for 5 minutes and be like, well, is that going to get me to my goals? Is that what somebody with mental toughness and discipline does? No. Y'all, I could talk all night. I
was like going to jump in with questions, but I was like, I just don't want to stop you. This is absolutely amazing. I love your story so much because not only is it raw and real, but you're still living it. And it's a side of the business like we don't like to talk about. When I heard your story, it related so much because I went through a very similar journey when I went double diamond. I mean, my first double diamond check, insert income disclosure, was almost $9,000. With 3,000 in cabs. And so very quickly, the same thing of, I was like, okay, cool. Now we're making $9,000 a month. Not the fact that we were making $6,000 a month with cabs. And it's so important, like she was saying, know where your money comes from. there's part of it that's amazing and beautiful, like the banquet bonuses, the generational bonuses, the cabs, those are amazing. But that needs to be a bonus. It needs to be icing on the cake, something beautiful you can do with, not something that you're going to build a life around, because it varies so greatly. This was just absolutely amazing. I love your story so much. Thank you for being so transparent, for taking time out of your night, and for sharing with us the nitty-gritty side of things that, like I said, a lot of top leaders don't want to talk about. We love to see the beautiful things, we love all the tips, but when you can really get real, it's just so powerful. And we thank you so much, guys. Drop like 10,000 in the chat if you got something out of this, because it was just so amazing. And I will have this recorded